Alright, there are a couple final pages left. There was this map policy page. Let's see what that is. Looks like it's like a legal page, so it's pretty standard. So there's two. Just some text here, and it's a standard page. Okay, and then we have terms and security, which broke on my website because I don't have it yet. Also a standard page. There are two different looking pages, but I think we can use the same. I think we can get away with using the same setup here. I think this page looks better, so we're going to follow suit with what this page is. So basically this has a title and a large WYSIWYG. The other page had the same thing. So we're going to do something a little different. We'll create a single view, and we're going to call it basic page. And it's going to be top level. And the basic page is going to have a title and content. That needs to be a WYSIWYG. Alright, so we're going to have something called basic page over here, which is our default. We don't want to call it basic page. We're going to call it terms service privacy. Copy this. Let's see how that pastes. That might have came over really bad. It did. I'm just going to paste it in normal. And save. And we're going to change this URL to match this. And that's going to just be this. Go grab something from here. Okay, so now we're going to have this page here. And while we're at it, let's create the map policy. So what's interesting now is we can do create new item. We can select basic page, and we're going to have that same templated layout. This I need to inspect because for whatever reason I can't copy this, or that is by design. And the meta for this, the path part was map dash policy. And this navigation link text was also map policy. Save, publish. Alright, so now we need to go make this view look like the other view. They have this brand protection policy as well. So this is following the same layout. So I'm just going to copy this, go into basic page, paste it. Alright, so we know that this guy here is going to be our content. Looks like we have some bad HTML going on, which we need to clean up. Looks like we're missing a div. It's just missing one div. Alright. Go this dot title. I'm going to wrap this guy in an H1. Okay. see it's copied in. Brand protection policy. We need to create this page. So create new item, basic page, brand protection policy. We need to do the same thing here. Pretty much copy. So now we need to go, those were only in the footer. Since we named them the same URL, they linked up, but they actually aren't dynamically linked. We're going to dynamically link them in Zesty. So footer. Map policy. So this is where you have to write something custom. Since there's multiple basic pages, we're going to do filter. Z dot path part equals map policy dot get URL. Let's see how that worked out for us. Okay, and that tied up. So there's another way to do this too, but I'm gonna go like this because this will be fastest. And you can see it's the lowercase, we're gonna have to fix that. So basically we're gonna do the same thing for brand protection policy. Just copy that because we named that verbatim. And term service. Publish all. Okay, now we have a full working website. And notice that we need to go in and just make these capital. So just to have it match. Brand protection policy, meta. We can copy a line over here for the description, the meta title. This is what we want to change to brand protection policy. Save, refresh. Oh, that's the meta title. Oops, there we go. Now we have that there. I'll just copy this first sentence. This sentence had some weird text in it that doesn't like meta description. Meta description didn't like that. So we're going to get that in there. That's why we had an error. Publish that. Jump to map policy. This one's easy. This needs to just be capitalized. Save. Publish. Good. Map policy will be lined up. Term security and privacy. Again, meta. We're just going to capitalize this. Terms, security, privacy. I'm going to check the regular website and make sure that's how it was. Yep. Okay. Publish. Okay, so now we have all this tied up, and just looking at the footer here, looks like the font size is different. Again, this can come down to ordering of how the CSS is compiled. So I'm just going to change this compile order. See if it makes a difference. It doesn't. I mean, we could be missing some CSS. So the full site's transferred, all the content's in. The mobile nav is working. All the nav's hooked up. We have, it looks like our footer text is not picking up styles that we didn't pick up or are being loaded in a different order. So I'll just kind of dig in and see. Looks like it's adapting this paragraph text that we don't want. So we could just see if just ditching this paragraph will do it. And it did. So there you go. So we got a p tag snuck in there somehow that we didn't want. So we'll just publish everything here for now. And we're in good shape. So at this point, I'm going to send this over the Q&A. This is a great example to show you how you actually transfer a site. It definitely needs some time to make sure that everything here is looking like it. Like this page, this might need to have this exact format. We'll see. Things like this footer text is way too big. It's adapting some sort of style that I don't know why it's taking on this paragraph style, but it is. There's things you can do. Doing it the right way would be through CSS. Obviously, you could like just style tag this thing directly and say font size 100%. Right? There's things like that could be done to fix it. But that's not always the best way to do things, but Q&A can decide. So if you have questions, go into the developer forum as you're doing conversions, and we can help you along the way, but that's a good start. Thank you for tuning into the series. That is just one example of transferring a site. Obviously, for bigger sites, it's going to take more than 2 hours. We also have APIs that can ingest lots of content. We have the ability to import a CSV. So if you're dealing with websites that have many pieces of content where, this one had 5 or 6 products, entering those was pretty quick. But in other scenarios, you'd want to turn to using our node wrapper or our CSV importer.